huge fire raged Beirut port on Thursday, few weeks after the massive explosion that destroyed lives and properties in the area. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are the top 10 stories now. At number 10, the United States of America has revoked the visas of more than 1,000 Chinese students and researchers. The State Department said on Wednesday that the order was given by President Donald Trump, accusing them of espionage. On May 29th, Trump had declared that some Chinese nationals officially in the US for study stole intellectual property and helped modernize China's military. On the effect of Trump's order, the State Department said more than 1,000 visas have been revoked since the implementation of the proclamation began on June 1st. Responding back on Thursday, China has asked the US to immediately stop using all kinds of pretexts to restrict and suppress Chinese students in the US for no reason, adding that China reserved the right to further respond. At number 9, George Bizos, the renowned human rights lawyer who helped Nelson Mandela escape death on treason charges, died on Wednesday at the age of 92. The lawyer's passing was announced by the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, during an online media briefing. Bizos' family said he died of natural causes at his Johannesburg home. The lawyer represented Mandela during the Rivonia trial, which sentenced Mandela and 7 others to life imprisonment in 1964 on charges of seeking to overthrow the racist apartheid government. Ramaphosa described Bizos as one of the lawyers who contributed immensely to the attainment of the country's democracy. At number 8, the Nigerian Stock Exchange trading activities closed on a negative note on Wednesday following losses recorded by some blue-chip companies. The all-share index dropped by 72.41 basis points or 0.28% to close at 25,424.91 as against 25,497.32 recorded the previous day. The market capitalization of equities depreciated by 38 billion naira to close at 13.26 trillion naira. The market's breadth equally closed negative, with 7 gainers against 23 losers. Meanwhile, a turnover of 269.63 million shares traded in 4,155 deals was recorded in the day's trading. At number 7, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in Miga local government area of Jigawa State have arrested a man, Usman Semaila, for allegedly killing his 17-month-old stepson so he could fully gain the attention of his wife. The spokesman of the NSCDC, Ahmed Shehu, said in a statement that the suspect was arrested on September 3rd after his wife raised an alarm over the child's death. Shehu said the suspect took his wife's child, Adamu Gambo, to a farm, strangled him to death and tried to cover up by relating the death to cold-related infections. His wife reported that her husband had attempted to strangle the child about twice earlier, of which the second attempt was in her presence. The NSCDC said after thorough investigation by the intelligence and investigation team of the command, the suspect confessed to committing the crime, saying that the baby was a distraction and interference to his love life, and that he wants his wife to give him all her love and attention. At number 6, the federal government has approved another 8.9 billion naira for the payment of June 2020 COVID-19 allowance to all medical health workers in the country. Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige disclosed this during the signing of a memorandum of understanding at the end of the meeting between the federal government and the Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors on Wednesday in Abuja. The NARD had embarked on a total and indefinite strike in all federal and state hospitals in the country to demand for its needs. However, Ngige said that implementation of the payment of the Special Hazard and Inducement Allowance has finally been concluded. At number 5, the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, has said that he regretted granting pardon to a convicted serial rapist, Yusuf Bako, during the COVID-19 lockdown. Bako, who was arrested for defiling a 4-year-old girl inside a mosque in Bauchi, was among several others who were granted state pardon by the governor during the lockdown. Speaking when the State Action Committee on Sexual and Gender-Based Violence paid him an advocacy visit at the government house late on Tuesday, Mohammed said gender-based violence had become a pandemic in Bauchi State, that his government would not spare anyone found to have been involved in sexual and gender-based violence in the state, vowing that they would be made to face the full wrath of the law to serve as a deterrent to others. At number 4, on Monday, the 14th of September 2020, Nigerian students across the country will stage a mass protest across the 6 geopolitical zones, including the Federal Capital Territory, to demand the reversal of the hike in fuel price, electricity tariff and other increments made by the federal government. The president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Danielson Bamidele, told journalists in Abuja that Nigerian students will be hard hit by these policies, adding that many have been forced out of school already owing to high cost of living and the deteriorating economic realities of their families. Although nuns in different states have been protesting against the hikes, Bamidele said the protest on the 14th has been unanimously agreed upon. The association also said their resistance to the latest increases has no political undertone and shall be non-violent. Meanwhile, on Thursday, operatives of the Nigeria Police Force arrested protesters expressing their displeasure over the recent increase in petroleum price and electricity tariff in Ojuelegba, Lagos State. At number 3, gunmen attacked Tungan Maje community, a suburb near Zuba in Abuja, early on Thursday, abducting some of the residents after prolonged shooting. The police spokesperson for the Federal Capital Territory, Anjugo Manza, confirmed the incident to Premium Times and said he was working on a statement. It was gathered that heavy shooting started in the community at about 12:15 a.m. and lasted more than an hour. Members of the local vigilante group were overpowered. This is the first attack after reports suggested that members of Boko Haram had infiltrated the Federal Capital Territory. The police have confirmed the attack, saying 10 people were kidnapped and 5 rescued. At number 2, the Board of Directors of the African Development Bank has approved $27.33 million in grants to boost the African Union's effort to mobilize a continental response to control the COVID-19 pandemic. The approval made on Wednesday followed a meeting of the Extended Bureau of the Conference of Heads of State and Government with Africa's private sector on April 22, 2020, chaired by the President of South Africa and Chairperson of the AU, Cyril Ramaphosa. The bank's grant financing would provide technical assistance and building capacity for 37 African Development Fund eligible countries, particularly the transition states, to combat the COVID-19 pandemic and mitigate its impact. Finally, at number 1, a huge fire raged Beirut port on Thursday, few weeks after the massive explosion that destroyed lives and properties in the area. A correspondent of Agence France Presse sparked the alarm among Lebanese still reeling from the deadly explosion that disfigured the capital last month. On August 4, 2020, 191 people were killed and many others were wounded when 2,750 tons of confiscated ammonium nitrate stored in a port warehouse for almost 7 years exploded. The new fire on Thursday burnt a warehouse storing engine oil and vehicle tires. New York Times reports that thick black columns of smoke rose into the sky from the port. Always remember to wear your mask, wash your hands, and stay safe. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.
Troops deployed to the northwest zone of Nigeria are said to have continued with aggressive clearance operations to rid the northwest of banditry and other forms of criminality. Coordinator Defense Media Operations Major General John Enenche, while briefing journalists, explained that between the 3rd to the 9th of September 2020, troops of Forward Operating Base Kekuje on the 7th of September arrested 2 bandit couriers with a sum of 1,565,550 naira in Maru local government area of Zamfara State.
On the same day, troops of Operation Hadarin Daji in conjunction with vigilantes arrested a bandit informant in Faskari local government area of Katsina State.
Also, troops of Operation Thunderstrike, acting on credible intelligence, successfully ambushed armed bandits at Jekaderabi along the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State.
During the ambush, troops neutralized 4 armed bandits and recovered 1 locally fabricated rifle along with 5 rounds of 9mm ammunition. Furthermore, troops of Operation Hadarin Daji on 6 September 2020 arrested a bandit at Koha village in Basari local government area of Katsina State.
In the northeast, troops of Operation Lafia Dole reportedly repelled terrorist attacks on own troops and villages around Baga in Kuka local government area, as well as Gajaigana and Gajairam town in Ungazi local government area of Borno State. During the encounters, troops were said to have neutralized a terrorist and recovered 1 PKT rifle and 2 AK-47 rifles. Troops of Operation North Karka in the North Central intercepted 86 persons suspected to be Jerusalem family members along Pakere Koktun Karfi Road in Kogi State on the 3rd of September 2020. During the preliminary investigation, it was revealed that the suspects fled Utu Forest General Area due to the ongoing military offensive. Within the period under review in the South-South, the Nigerian Navy's Ship Delta Patrol Team located a dugout pit with about 1,257.96 barrels of product suspected to be stolen crude oil at Ogbodede Creek in Warri South local government area of Delta State. Also, the team discovered an oven laden with about 18.86 barrels of crude and 5,000 liters of illegally refined AGOs. The dugout pit and oven with the products were dismantled.
Similarly, Forward Operating Base Bonny Patrol Team discovered an illegal refining site in Ataba, Andoni local government area of Rivers State. The site had 2 metal storage tanks laden with about 301.91 barrels of product suspected to be stolen crude oil, and 1 metal tank laden with about 34,000 liters of product suspected to be illegally refined HU. Also, the team discovered 5 storage facilities made with tarpaulin inside the swamp laden with about 4,717.35 barrels of product suspected to be stolen crude oil.
Meanwhile, sequel to the security alert, which the military describes as a purported memorandum from the Nigeria Customs Service warning its staff of a possible attack on the FCT, the Defense Headquarters has reassured residents of FCT and other adjoining states that the armed forces of Nigeria and other security agencies have been on red alert to combat crime and ensure effective surveillance of the Federal Capital Territory and other states of the country. On Monday, the 14th of September 2020, Nigerian students all over the Federation will stage a mass protest across the 6 geopolitical zones, including the Federal Capital Territory, to demand the reversal of the hike in fuel price, electricity tariff, and other increments announced by the federal government. The president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Nelson Bamidele Akpan, told newsmen in Abuja that Nigerian students will be hard hit by these policies as their usually managed 101 feeding standard can no longer be guaranteed and therefore would not be able to concentrate or cope with their studies. Akpan revealed that many students have been forced out of school already owing to the high cost of living and the deteriorating economic realities of their families.
A letter of protest rejecting the price hikes, especially on electricity and petrol pricing, would be addressed to the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, through the 6 geopolitical zones for onward delivery to Mr. President, while the FCT Minister will convey the message to the Presidency himself.
The Apex student body explained that it will be engaging the federal government and all ministries, departments and agencies and other stakeholders both in the finance, power and petroleum sector, saying they shall also demand efficient service delivery from the distribution companies and the entire power sector. Although Nigerian students under the aegis of National Association of Nigerian Students in different states have been protesting against the announced hikes, Bamidele Akpan says the September 14th protest has been unanimously agreed upon and will continue as planned.
Now is the time to reset our priorities as a government, people, and develop with a common purpose that seeks the good of the common man. Perhaps if our refineries were to be working, if our refineries were to be put to optimum production level and new ones added over the years, Nigerians would by now have long forgotten the pains of persistent increases in especially petroleum products.
None say their resistance to the latest increases has no political undertone and shall be non-violent, saying it is a cause Nigerians are in their need of responsible citizens and organizations to champion. A day after the Nigeria Immigration Service Interpol I-247 DEX announced that it had successfully uploaded about 150,000 stolen and lost travel documents to Interpol Global System in Lyon, France. The Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, while addressing journalists in Abuja, said this move will reduce irregularities and criminality amongst people who hide under the guise of losing their passports in a bid to own multiple passports. Also, this would help in identifying those who have genuine excuses.
The common issues we used to have before this incident are Nigerians who want to have multiple passports by declaring it lost. The system will not allow you to have two when you present a second one. So how do they do it? They go to the police and report that their passport is lost. They swear a court affidavit. What can we do? We give them a passport. When we give them a passport, they can use that passport they declared lost to apply for visa elsewhere. This time is not possible because most of the missions are connected with Interpol database. Our borders airport is connected with Interpol database. All the 194 countries are connected. So even if you declare it lost and then you decide to use it somewhere, you are in trouble. Already we have hits.
A major Interpol system supporting arm manned by officers of the Nigeria Immigration Service at the unit's office in the Nigeria Immigration Service headquarters made the upload on the 7th of September 2020. I-247 is a foundation for unlimited information exchange between law enforcement agencies worldwide. On the part of the Immigration Service, their interest borders on the following cases: stolen and lost travel documents, nominal wanted persons list, counterfeit document, genuine travel document, child sexual exploitation, trafficking, smuggling of persons, fingerprints, foreign terrorist fighters, facial recognition, I-Check IT Advanced Passengers Information System. The Stolen and Lost Travel Document Database is arguably one of the most crucial tools of Interpol. It is key for member countries to identify the misuse of travel documents in order to prevent criminals from doing the following: crossing international borders, concealing their true identities, carrying out criminal acts under false identities. It was created in 2002 following the September 11, 2001 terrorist attack on the World Trade Center. In the composition of stolen and lost travel documents, the database is a repository of documents that are either reported stolen, reported lost, revoked by the issuing authority, stolen blank. In the case of a fire accident resulting in a passport getting burned, what will be the next line of action?
If it is burnt, it cannot be seen. Are you with me? But if he tells a lie and say, look, my passport is burnt, you go and collect fire service report, because that's the requirement, that there is a report from fire service. You do an affidavit, you bring to us, your passport is burnt. No problem. The system will say that passport is burnt in the database. So it appears, if you go and put that passport somewhere, it will appear in the database as a passport that you claim to have been burnt. It's even more dangerous than saying it is stolen. You may give excuses to say, oh, I got the passport, I don't know. But you said it is burnt. It's more dangerous.
The service, in collaboration with the National Central Bureau and the United States National Center Bureau, has also been in the process of developing a web-based solution that will allow Nigeria to manage its own data that is uploaded to the Stolen and Lost Travel Document Database. The automation is what the Nigeria Immigration Service was able to achieve on the 7th of September 2020. According to Immigration Chief, Nigeria holds the #1 spot in Africa and 54th in the world. It enabled Nigeria to upload all stolen and lost travel documents to Interpol database in Lyon, France, through a secure channel.
With this integration, it is believed that it will build trust for Nigerian government, raise the dignity of Nigerians before international community, and bring about investment opportunities. Oluwatobi Enitan reporting for RootsTV, Nigeria.
Nigeria is a member of the United Nations General Assembly. We are part of the United Nations. So all resolution of the United Nations, we are expected to comply. There is a resolution of the United Nations called Resolution 2178, which urge all member states to use Interpol I-247. I-247 means information 24 hours / 7 days. So information I-247 of the Interpol tools database to monitor and prevent persons from entering and exiting its territories who are wanted locally or globally. As you are aware, wanted persons are flagged up globally by Interpol. Terrorists, child offenders, and many categories of people wanted. If a country wants to declare somebody wanted, can approach Interpol and flag that person as a wanted person. Important also is not the only person, because the person does not travel alone. The person travels with a passport, a travel document. So in that Interpol database, there's a provision for a section called stolen travel document. Stolen, lost, damaged, or any passport that a country considered it not to be used. You are expected as a country to upload into the Interpol database. When you upload this information into the Interpol database, the information goes to member countries so that they see that that passport has been stolen, that passport has been lost, that passport has been revoked, because there are passports that can be revoked if it is illegally issued. But before the coming of this administration, even before in 2019, we are not connected early with Interpol anyhow. Although we have made effort since 2016 when I came on board to work with the Nigerian police force to make sure we have connectivity, because Interpol is a tool for law enforcement. We are law enforcement that are in charge of border. But I would like to appreciate the current Inspector General of Police, who was also an executive director of Interpol. So you can appreciate why it became easier under his leadership as an IG, that we are connected to Interpol in here headquarters. So what we used to do, we take the passport that are lost, physically or stolen, and take it to Interpol police headquarters and give it to them. Then they will put it manually into the Interpol database. That we started at the beginning of last year. Before that, we don't issue. So if you lose your passport, nobody knows you lost your passport globally. If a passport is stolen, nobody knows. But from last year, Mr. President directed that we should start doing it. So we started taking it physically to Interpol headquarters, Abuja, for them to put it manually. But last year, President set a committee under the leadership of the Minister of Interior on harmonization of data. And one of the tasks under it is to make sure the upload of stolen and lost passport is done seamlessly without doing it manually. So what did we do? We started connecting from our headquarters, where every Friday we upload this database, and that is what all African countries are doing. They do it either weekly or do it monthly, but they upload lost and stolen passport into that database. But that is not the practice. The expected practice globally is to provide seamless and automatic connection, so that once your passport has been reissued as lost, automatically it is available to member countries. That is what we achieved on Monday. We have achieved the automation of our connectivity between our database and that of Interpol. That makes a great success for Nigeria. People didn't appreciate, but the truth of the matter is that we have uploaded up to 150,000 lost and stolen passports since we started the passport database. And we became the first country in terms of volume in Africa to upload that number. You can appreciate because of our size. We are a large country, so naturally we will upload more. But what we have done on Monday is that we have achieved automation. No African country is automatically connected to Interpol database where things are done real time online, except Nigeria. I think we need to commend the government of Nigeria for achieving that success. People will say, what is the value in it? What is the password? That password is being uploaded into Interpol database. It has a lot of security value. It has political value. It has economic value. Even though our database, as of today, we have issued since the new passport arrived, e-passport 2007, and 7 we introduced the new 17 we introduced the new passport. We have issued 473,000 passport booklet. 473 passport booklets have been issued. It means, like myself, I have renewed many passport booklets. But in our database, surprisingly, we only have the APIs, the fingerprints, of 7,994,571 as at today. So you can see the population of percentage of people who have passport is very small in Nigeria, but they are the elite of Nigeria. They are the wealthy, educated, and political elite of Nigeria. All the members of National Assembly have the passport, all the governors, all the chief executives. So these are the political and the elite who have this document. As they move around the world, it is important for the world to monitor them because of a lot of issues that will happen, even for their interest. Supposing your passport is stolen in a car, you parked in a car, and then somebody took the passport out of the country and decided to use it as your person in another territory. Immediately when that passport is scanned, it will alert that that passport has been stolen if you report it to immigration, and that person will be arrested. I think it helps even the holder to do that. But the common issues we used to have before this incident are Nigerians who want to have multiple passports by declaring it lost. The system will not allow you to have two when you present a second one. So how do they do it? They go to the police and report that their passport is lost. They swear a court affidavit. What can we do? We give them a passport. When we give them a passport, they can use that passport they declared lost to apply for visa elsewhere. This time is not possible because most of the missions are connected with Interpol database. Our borders airport is connected with Interpol database. All the 194 countries are connected. So even if you declare it lost and then you decide to use it somewhere, you are in trouble. Already we have hits. We have many passports that have been retrieved, especially like in London, the common destination for Nigeria. And some of them are elites whose passport have been found to be lost, but they are using it, which means they told lies to immigration that the passport was lost, and now they are using it. The consequences are enormous. We are prosecuting them because they have first obtained that passport through fraud, through falsehood. When you declare that it is lost, it's falsehood. If it is burnt, it cannot be seen. Are you with me? But if he tells a lie and say, look, my passport is burnt, you go and collect fire service report, because that's the requirement, that there is a report from fire service. You do an affidavit, you bring to us, your passport is burnt. No problem. The system will say that passport is burnt in the database. So it appears, if you go and put that passport somewhere, it will appear in the database as a passport that you claim to have been burnt. It's even more dangerous than saying it is stolen. You may give excuse to say, oh, I got the passport, I don't know. But you said it is burnt. It's more dangerous. Even ordinary reissue. But you know, when you reissue a passport, we don't reissue until we see the passport you are changing in your hand. Even if you have 10 years visa, what do? We cancel without prejudice. I return the passport to you. So there will be a cancellation without prejudice. Your visa may be in the old passport, but still you are traveling with a new passport given to you. But mistakenly, if you are able to connive with other officers, or you, by mistake, it is issued without being stamped, that passport, even though there is no stamp on it, that it has been cancelled without prejudice, that passport cannot be used for traveling because it has been electronically deactivated. So you can see the changes are enormous. There is no way you can beat the system. You go to the embassy, and in that embassy we give you what we call emergency travel certificate to return home. This emergency travel certificate is a certificate that allows you to return directly home without stopping elsewhere. And I'm glad to tell that the Minister of Interior has already approved what we call temporary passport, which will replace emergency travel certificate. Unlike what has been happening, in the next few months we are going to see another change in passport administration. What is happening globally is very disturbing. If you lose your passport, you go to the embassy and say you lose your passport. There's a possibility you give another name to come back. And it has been happening. And if that name you have given might give you a cover, could be you are wanted by the host country's authority. Probably you are in Ghana, or you are in America, or you are in India. You go and tell them you declared your passport lost, and then you bring an affidavit that your name is different. They give you emergency travel with another name. You may escape the justice of that country. Or you are wanted in Nigeria for certain crime, for armed robbery, or for terrorism, for money laundering by EFCC. Then you get that emergency travel with another name. You may escape and enter Nigeria with another name. But Mr. President has tasked us and we have complied. The Minister of Interior has approved deployment in what we call temporary passport. That temporary passport, if you lose your passport, you will have it. 4-page booklet. It will be launched by the Minister of Interior and probably with his counterpart in Foreign Affairs, and will not be given to you until we certify it is the same name you have in your data. We have developed the forensic already. The tool is already available with us, where we put the fingerprint, we get your data. If you want us to try, we can try with one of you, just to see what is happening. We can allow you to have a test to see what it is. You just put your fingerprint, we'll see your passport. So even missions where there are no passport issuing centers, we'll provide that forensic facility. People will put their fingerprint. When Nigerians say they lose their passport, we'll issue you temporary passport based on your data, not on another name. So this will also strengthen security, would improve trust for Nigerian government by countries where Nigerians might have been misbehaving and returning with another identity. It will help our national security because people who are wanted will not be able to come with another identity. So there is no way you can come anywhere in Nigeria loses his passport. He should report to the nearest embassy, and that embassy will give him a document to return back home. There's no way you can use it. But if you found that passport, no problem. Since you tell immigration that you have found it, because you cannot use it. By the time when you come and get that temporary passport we are given, we have already recorded that passport is lost, and we have uploaded it into Interpol database.